This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
So this is a big week, Dave. By the time this airs, Thanksgiving will be over. And do your people celebrate Thanksgiving?
You people, bald people. What are you referring to here?
Yeah, no. I tell the story about
when I sold paper at Case Paper, I had lovely people, lovely people in the Midwest. I would sell paper to a lot of places in very small little towns,
right?
Like Lavaca, Arkansas. Just like places, and throughout. And I'm a pretty cordial guy, kind of, extroverted. When you're a customer of Dave, you're my friend.
You are,
right?
Yes.
I was invited to weddings, the whole thing. Anyway, so I started, having these great relationships with my customers, and then some of them found out that I had, Jewish blood in me.
Yeah. Does the name David Stern give them any ideas there, or
many of these people
had never met a Jew.
Never met a Jew.
Yeah.
And right around Thanksgiving, every year, and I'm not making this up, every year somebody would ask, and very nicely.
Yeah.
This is not at all, they were very lovely people. Do Jews celebrate Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I love that.
And then, of course, I said, well, yeah, we own all the cranberry bogs. A turkey souvenir T-shirt. More than likely, we made that, and we're making money on it.
Yeah. It's not, it's not racist because they have no idea.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, it's
but that
nice.
Really gave me an idea of, wow.
Yeah,
there's a disconnect.
Culturally,
there's
really
a big difference.
No idea what I am.
right.
That's right.
I'm not even going to get into the Israel Gaza.
Oh boy, I was hoping you would.
Yeah,
because we got a wacky show to do.
We're going to stay out of that.
It's called Minutia Men, and it starts now.
The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie production on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
Well, wishing you a great thing. What are you doing?
I'm driving up to Michigan, to my cousin's house. She's got a big farmhouse in the middle of the countryside in Michigan, and
where there are no Jews.
I'm sure there are none. And then they've got like a trailer that they have outside their house, and where my whole family, we stay in the trailer outside their house.
Really?
Yeah, we've done this once before. It's kind of a cool little trailer. It sounds kind of
rustic.
Yeah, it's cool. The only thing is there's no bathroom in the trailer, but we're right by the house. So,
So you're not going to your brother's?
No, my brother's going to come meet us there.
From Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after the big weekend, or Thanksgiving, you're going to go to our book signing on Saturday.
Right. We have a book signing. The day this comes out, Saturday, we have a book signing in Griffith, Indiana from 1 to 4. Dan McNeil's got a book about the Chicago Bears. Come stop by and say hi.
Yeah.
And we'll be there. What's the name of it? The book is called I Bear Witness.
No, the bar, I know.
Oh, the bar is called Bridges.
Okay, Bridges.
Bridges.
Yeah, I know what the name of the book is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I don't.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, this is going south. I got a story here, and this comes out of London. Okay.
All right.
AI tool that sounds like elderly grandmother created to waste phone scammers' time. Mobile operator O2. You know O2?
Yeah, sure.
Right. They got the big stadium there. It's like the Verizon of the UK. They've created an AI-powered tool that sounds like an elderly grandmother keeping phone scammers on calls and away from the general public. The telecoms giant said it had created the so-called scam baiter tool in response to research which found that 7 in 10 people wanted to get back at scammers but didn't want to waste their time doing it. What do you mean 7 out of 10? Is it a 10 out of 10 if someone else is going to do it? O2 says that the tool has been successful in keeping numerous scammers on calls up to 40 minutes at a time and frustrated them with meandering stories and explanations about their tech use.
Oh, this is God's work. They're doing God's work here.
Memories of dead relatives, sharing unwanted recipes, as well as providing false personal information and made-up bank details.
Oh, God.
This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As I was doing research, there is somebody on YouTube right now by the name of Kitboga, Kitboga, who basically does this. He has he's got like a big video setup, and he filters his voice so it sounds like an elderly woman.
Yeah.
And he keeps scammers on the phone And I found it's brilliant. If you go to his channel, like I said,
is this guy related to you? Because that sounds like something you would do.
This guy's a genius. So I sent you a video, just like it's like a minute or whatever, of him doing God's work.
Hello. Can you hear me? Ma'am, why are you not listening? Ma'am, why don't you listen? I'm talking to you. Why are you not listening to me, ma'am? Ma'am, are you not able to hear me or what? What is the problem?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just telling you that this weekend is going to be the first time that I ever get to DJ at a wedding. I have been stressing out about it for a while, and I have the whole playlist figured out, but I'm a little bit afraid that something's going to go wrong. Like when they announce the bride and groom, I come in, and out of nowhere, I'm playing like Another One Bites the Dust.
Ma'am,
I'm sorry, Jose,
can
are
you
you there?
listen to me?
Are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, Steve?
Ma'am, can you listen to me, ma'am? What is your phone number? What is your cell phone number?
Oh, is that the song you're talking about?
बंद कर दे यार गेट को.
Is that the song that you're talking about?
Ma'am, don't redeem it. Ma'am, do not redeem it.
That's
so
good.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah,
all right. Your daughters are in the theater, or they have done some theater work, and the theater is very famous for being superstitious. Mm-hmm. And the New York Times did an article this week about the many superstitions that are involved in theater. Okay. For instance, the most famous one is you never say "have a good show."
Right, it's break a leg.
You say "break a leg," right?
Which you did literally.
I did. I did literally break a leg. Yes. So don't say it every time. Yeah. But I have
Rick going on a hike, going on vacation, break a leg.
By the way, you know where that comes from? Because it's in the article. It says that because of theater's legs are the thin drapes that frame the stage, which you cross for receiving an ovation. That's what in the old days, the break a leg, meaning you go out there and get a great ovation at the end of the show. It has nothing to do with breaking a leg, which I had no idea. But there are some other theater superstitions, and I have 5 of them here. 4 of them are real.
Okay.
And 1 is not.
Okay. All right.
And you have to guess which one is not. All right. Now, let me say all of them first before you guess. Okay. All right. Here's one. Dancers must touch the robe for good luck. Dancers must touch the robe.
Okay.
All right. Naming a character Amanda is sure to create a flop.
Okay.
Theater lotteries must happen every week, called Dollar Fridays. Theater lotteries.
Okay.
A ghost light must be left on center stage at night after the show. Meaning the show's over, everyone leaves, and they've got to leave a light on in the middle of the stage.
Okay.
And then the final one is saying Macbeth in a theater is bad luck.
Well, and here's a stupid American question. Mm-hmm. In Macbeth, is the word Macbeth in Macbeth?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm going to say that, well, no, then that...
You got dancers touching the robe. You got naming a character Amanda. You got theater lotteries on Fridays. You got a ghost light at center stage. And you've got saying Macbeth.
I'm going to say Macbeth is false.
Saying Macbeth in theater is bad luck.
Really?
Unless you are acting in
Macbeth.
Macbeth.
Okay.
And the reason why is because in an era when most theater companies operated in a repertory, like going around and performing various different works, the Scottish play, as the piece can safely be referred to, was a guaranteed moneymaker. So if your season was failing, then you'd go for Macbeth. So if you say Macbeth, that means you're already failing and you've got to bring it in. So that's the origin of never saying Macbeth. But apparently that's a real one.
Character Amanda? I can't remember any
Yeah, I made that one up. Okay. The other one, though, so dancers must touch a robe. There's apparently a thing where it all goes back to Gentlemen Prefer Blondes in 1950. A chorus member took a robe from Ethel Merman, and it became Good Luck. And the same robe was in the same theater, and people would have to touch it, but only the dancers were allowed to touch it. It's called touching the robe.
Okay, and then does other theaters now have a robe?
Yes. It was called the Gypsy Robe. And then it's now called the Legacy Robe.
Okay.
All right, that's weird. This theater lottery thing, that's a thing that they do where they collect money from everybody and do like at the end of the week, pick a number, you win.
So these are the cast members.
The cast members, they do it for themselves.
So it's a football pool at the paper company.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, fine.
And then the ghost light is something that they started doing because they believed that there were evil spirits in these theaters, and so they left the light on the stage to keep the spirits away. So even when the theater goes dark, it doesn't go totally dark except for this because this one light.
Okay.
But apparently,
that was interesting.
Those are all theater.
Well,
yeah.
Well, so we actually do give some information.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Useful.
It's not useful. Yeah.
Here's a review from AIB Fool on PodTrack. Back in the day, we would listen to this thing called radio and have a few laughs. Minutia Men reminds me of those days. So there you go.
Oh, gosh, radio. Yeah. My dear old friend.
I heard somebody else went out bankrupt this past.
Radios?
Yeah, I heard some...
I don't know. But I do love when you bring up stories you don't know what the answer is to. All right, it's time for another feature.
As you get older, it's like, I read an article, and the article could have been, first of all, I may not have ever even read the article, or it could have been 12 years ago.
It could have been.
Right. And
then you want someone else who has no idea what you've seen or done
to go, yeah, I read that article, and then take it from there. Right.
It's time for Studio Walls.
Time now for Studio Walls.
And the words of the prophets were written on the studio walls.
So this is the part of the show where we dip into the vast Rick and Dave archives. And we can play stuff, and the answers will be in that in the clip that we're playing, and we won't have to ask what did they say, because we can listen to what did they say. This week is the 50th anniversary of John Lennon's last performance on stage ever, and that was at Madison Square Garden
with Elton John, right?
With Elton John, and it was. I'll tell you a brief backstory before we get to the clip.
So this was 74. 74, okay.
November 28th, 1974.
So he had not performed from 74 until 80?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember, he became a dad and just stayed home and kind of disappeared off the grid.
Reading Father Knows Nothing.
Probably, yes. But he had a song called Whatever Gets You Through the Night. And Elton John performed on that on the record. And Elton John said, if this becomes a number one hit, you have to promise me to appear on stage with me at a concert. And so he did. He appeared on stage, and they did Whatever Gets You Through the Night, and they did Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, because both of them had recorded Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Now, I wasn't there. You weren't there. But May Pang was there, and May Pang was John's girlfriend, and they had already been broken up at this point, but she came and was there on the side of the stage. I'll let her tell the story. This is May Pang in about 1974. Tell us about that last appearance that he did at Madison Square Garden, because I think it's painted beautifully. The story is told beautifully in the film, but if you can give us just like a little encapsulation of what people can see when they see this movie.
Oh, I think it's John going through those paces, and in the back. He was nervous that night. There was no two ways about it. And when he got on stage, he made sure that I was within full view, so he can see me. He wanted to see my immediate reaction to him singing. And it was right past Elton's piano. That's where I was standing, so that when John turned his head to the right, he could actually just see me. And he was he was so thrilled. He was so thrilled at the end of the night that it was over. Yeah. And that's another myth. Everybody thought that, our relationship had ended, and that's not what happened. Right. We continued on. I know, because that's one of the big myths, that he went home, he did this. That's not what happened.
Right. There it is.
So he was nervous.
He was nervous. He was John Lennon, but, he's like a human being. I was watching a Netflix special or Hulu special last night. Jim Gaffigan, the comedian Jim Gaffigan. The
Pop-Tarts guy.
Yeah.
What's the deal with Pop-Tarts? Is it a food?
His whole show now is like, you mentioned Father Knows Nothing, is like Father Knows Nothing. Sure. The whole thing is like it. And he's got teenagers now, and he's the whole thing is like what I was like and what you were like 10 years ago.
Well, he's our age. He's a little
He's
younger,
around our age.
A little younger.
But it made me realize that I have a little song that works for this time of year. Okay. All right. And this goes back to it's called the 12 Teen Days of Christmas. Okay. It's short. I thought we'd play for you now. It's part of our Studio Walls feature.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my teen son gave to me 12 hours of sleeping, 11 lost assignments, 10 threats of violence, 9 go-aways, 8 all the snack food, 7 words of swearing, 6 dirty looks. Leave me alone. 4 slamming doors, 3 broken iPods, 2 rolling eyes, and a grunt in response to my query.
I've noticed my kids.
Yeah.
They're now coming back.
Yeah. They do eventually come back.
Hey, I got another story here.
Okay.
Fox News.
Oh, love Fox News.
Fox News claims satirical news site The Onion has 4.3 trillion daily readers after falling for the satirical description on the satirical website.
But they're not very smart.
Fox News mistakenly reported as truth a claim by satirical news outlet The Onion of having trillions and trillions and trillions of daily readers. As you all know, and if not, The Onion has been a parody of real news outlets for a generation, right? I mean, it's been forever. And they bought, obviously, recently, Alex Jones' InfoWars.
Yes.
And Fox News was reporting about it, and we've got audio.
The Onion is a satirical site. It manages to persuade people to believe itself as the, quote, world's leading news publication, offering highly acclaimed, universally revered coverage of breaking international and local news events. It has 4.3 trillion daily readers. Jones has been saying on his show that if his detractors bought InfoWars, he would move his daily broadcasts and product sales to a new studio websites and social media accounts.
Oh, it's good that they're letting people know where they can find Alex Jones now. Right.
Hey, Siri, how many people are on Earth? Hey, Siri, how many people are on Earth? No, my Siri's not working.
Yeah.
It's less than 4.3 trillion.
Yeah, I would hope so.
In case you're wondering.
We would be in bad shape.
Well, when you figure in the illegal migrants in America. It could be.
Right. There is a lot of space, though. You ever see those red-blue maps where who voted where, and it looks like, geez, the whole country's voting red.
Right.
But it's a lot of space of nothing.
There's 6 people in that.
We could put the 4 trillion right there. Right. Nobody would even know.
I guess we now know where the WGN intern went. Remember that she had intern that put the yellow star with the word Jude?
Or the intern at Channel 5 who put a piece of broccoli on the screen when Cubby Broccoli died. Which is one of my favorite things. The little thing over the shoulder of the anchor. Right. In Hollywood news, Cubby Broccoli. There's a picture of broccoli.
Well, with the WGN one, it was, for our Jewish friends, we'd like to wish them a happy high holidays.
Yeah.
And then there's a picture of
like a Holocaust thing.
The Holocaust yellow star.
Right.
With is it Judah?
Yeah, Judah. Yeah.
Judah. Backwards. So they're now working at Fox News.
Well, good to hear it. I have a story for you. This is a 911 caller story. We always love those. This comes from Shawonko, Wisconsin from this week. 911 dispatcher Kim Krause.
Is it a cheese curd problem?
Oh, well, you gotta listen. 9/11 dispatcher Kim Krause received a call from a 10-year-old boy. He said he really needed help with his math homework.
Okay, sure.
He said, "Ma'am, I know I'm not supposed to be calling 911 for this, but I really could use some help with my homework." So, of course, you know how 9/11 dispatchers are. You know what they said, right?
What they said?
They said, "Oh, hey, sure."
Yeah.
Actually, they said, "Well, we're not too busy right now. What the heck?" She dispatched Deputy Chase Mason to help. And I actually sent a message to the deputy who was responding and said, "You got a lot of pressure on you right now to help this boy with his math homework," Shawana County Sheriff's Lieutenant Chris Madel said. So, Deputy Mason got on the line, helped the young caller complete his decimal-based math homework, and saved the day.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And after helping the boy, he told him, "Hey, don't call 911.
So, taxpayers. The Wisconsin taxpayers. They voted Republican. A lot of where was this?
It was in Shawanko.
Okay.
Shawanko, Wisconsin.
All right, I'm going to go on a little I'm going to go on a limb here saying that might have gone red.
Yeah.
Wait until Elon Musk gets a hold of this. Yeah, that whole 911 thing is going to be completely...
I happen to think this is a beautiful story. Okay. And so thank you to Deputy Chief Chase Mason, who did a wonderful thing. All right, it's time for another feature.
Time now for Celebrity Potpourri with Rick and Dave.
So this is the part of the show where people send in their brushes with greatness, their brushes with celebrity. And this week I get an email here from Bruno. And it's very timely. Do you know that
there's 4 dogs on my block named Bruno?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh. We're going to get a dog soon.
What are we getting?
Yeah, I don't know. But I think we finally have worn down Bridget.
Really?
Yeah. It's always been 4 votes to 1 anyway. Me and the 3 boys.
And then, she was the executive.
Apparently has veto power. I didn't read the fine print, but apparently she has veto power. It's not a democracy here.
Well, at least when you got married, there wasn't some Hebrew document that we had. I have no clue what I agreed to.
That's true. And you're reading it backwards. And yeah. Well, this is got nothing to do with dogs, actually, but it's very timely.
What kind of dog? You're going to get like a mid-size, like a West
mid-size.
Like West size or a little bigger than Wes?
Wes is not mid-size. Wes is tiny.
He's only not tiny.
Wes is like in your pocket dog.
No, he's not.
He's super tiny.
Good boy.
I don't know.
Like a
little bigger.
Like a Labradoodle?
I don't know. We'll see. We're not going to pay a lot of money for it. We're going to go to the...
Can I help? Can I
No. As a matter of fact, you're not welcome. Bruno here says, with all the hype about Wicked, I thought I'd tell you about my brush with a munchkin.
Okay. All right. You had me at brush with a munchkin. That was your 9th album, wasn't it, Bruno?
This actually came in this morning, and I was so excited. I got rid of the one that I was going to do.
What was it? I met Winston Churchill once. I don't care.
Let's see. His name was Jerry Marin, and he was the last surviving munchkin from the original Wizard of Oz. I met him and got his autograph at a collector show about 10 years ago. But here's the coolest thing about Jerry. Not only was he a munchkin, he played Mayor McCheese and the Hamburglar in the old McDonald's commercials. Wow. Check out. He sent me the picture. Check out his signature in the photo. He signed the photo. He signed it, Jerry Mayor McCheese Marin.
Right there.
One of my prized treasures. He died right before the pandemic. Thanks, Bruno.
That's a great story. Have you read Project 2025? I'm sure you haven't read the 900.
We're really going to get political today.
Right. So
all right. Yeah.
I'm sure you haven't read the 900.
I have not.
Okay.
No.
But one of the things in there is to get rid of porn.
What?
Yeah, one of the planks is to get rid of porn.
I'm reading through this. Hamburglar, McCheese, Munchkin. Midget. Is that where you?
Right. I'm saying,
trying to follow your train of thought there.
So what I'm worried about is no porn.
Yeah,
that's going to put a lot of little people out of business.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
There's a lot of porn that utilizes little people.
Well, I get
at least the porn I watched.
They have not thought this through, apparently.
Exactly.
Well, we have people to thank over this holiday season. Yeah. We need to thank executive producer Tony Lasano with Opie Shows. We need to thank Ed Silla with the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. He's our distributor. He
distributes.
He distributes. And, people say that Great Talk Radio is dead, Dave?
No,
it's not. It's just moved to a better place, and that's radiomisfits.com. And we'll be back again for another brand new episode of
Minutia.
The preceding was a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Find our other great shows on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at radiomisfits.com. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?
I do love when you bring up stories you don't know what the answer is.